Hi, my name is Minnie Thomas. I'm with Keller Williams Realty, Hudson Valley United, and I have Miss Annabelle Sims, and she is from.
Gorasco.
And Annabelle, we've been knowing each other for quite some time, but I just would like you to tell everybody what you do.
So I'm a mortgage loan originator, and that's actually how Minnie and I met. I bought a property here in Newburgh, Orange County, which is where we both service or have most of our clients. And she was actually a listing agent. And a few weeks after it closed, I actually had a question on my property, and she picked up the phone. And she was willing to give me all the details on the property at that time, and we just grew and became friends in the industry from that time.
Yes, we
So
did.
yes, so I do mortgages, and our relationship has just grown and blossomed into partnership as well. And now when I started, I was actually a lender at that time. I was working direct as a lender. Now I'm actually a broker on the broker end, which means that now I don't just work directly for the bank, I work directly for our clients, which has fostered and given us more relationship and more clients to build on.
What a testimony! What a testimony! Praise the Lord, hallelujah! I gotta say it. Yes, the growth from over the years is
Yes.
just a blessing.
And friendship.
The friendship is
It's
like
not-
wow.
it's
like
And
I
that's
love
important
her.
in business, right?
It
We
is.
want to
It
work with
is.
people that we like.
Yeah. Yes. I
We
remember.
want to work with people that we like.
I remember I was with another company, and I told you I wasn't satisfied with the company, and you said to me, "Well, why don't you go to Keller Williams Realty up there in Middletown, New York? They actually will train you, and you don't even have to be part of the office." And that's when my late husband was working with me, and I told him, and he said, "Go for it." And we went up there the next day and signed up with Keller Williams, and that's going on 8 years ago.
Yes. And that's something about the industry, right? Not everywhere that you work might be a good fit for you.
Exactly.
And that's what it was at that time for you. You needed to make a transition from the company that you were to
Exactly.
go into a place where training is offered.
That's
And that's
right.
where you are today. And do you love it?
I love it.
All right,
Training.
awesome.
Training is
My
very
recommendation
important.
was good.
Yes, it was very good. You said to me to go step out, and you referred me to Robin Williams, or
Robin
Williams, Robin White.
Don't let her get you on this.
I know, boing. But Robin White and I got together, and she brought me into Keller Williams, which I really, really appreciate. I appreciate Robin, and I appreciate Annabelle. Yes, but anyway, thank you for your introduction.
Of course.
Now, Annabelle, how important is it to have a pre-approval?
It is very important to have a pre-approval. It gives you, it arms you with so much, right? It let your seller know when you see a property, I am ready to go. How many times have we lost deals, or a realtor has lost deals because their buyer was just not ready, right? It also saves you time. You're taking buyers out, you're driving around, you're showing them 10, 20 properties, and then when you're ready, the credit is no good, the income doesn't qualify. You're saving time as a realtor as well, right? And it's also saying you have a serious buyer,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So there's so many things that the pre-approval says it is very important. I also have buyers that have gone out there and then they come back and say, when I show them what the payment is like, they have been looking outside of their budget, right? So the pre-approval also tell that buyer what they can afford and keep them within the payment that they're looking for. So getting a pre-approval is key. It's not just, oh, I don't want my credit run, or I just want to see properties first. It's setting you up for success, that when you see that property, you're ready to put an offer in. How many open houses have we done where
Oh
you've
my
taken offers
gosh.
on the spot?
Yes,
Like many take
yes.
offers on the spot. Are
Yes,
you
I
pre-approved?
will.
Please email it over to me. And
Yes.
she's taking offers on the spot.
Yes.
Pre-approvals give you the ammunition that you need when you're in the market and you're shopping for a home.
Exactly. And now, Annabelle, what is a pre-approval?
So pre-approval is where your lender or your mortgage loan officer is going to look at your credit, your income, and your assets, right? One of the simplest way I always used to explain it is I say to my clients, listen, think of me as your CIA agent. Credit, income, assets. CIA, those are the three main things. Yep. Credit, income, assets. I'm the CIA agent.
Oh, I love
and
that.
I'm going to
I
ask you
love
questions
that. I
about
love
your
that.
credit, right?
Yes,
I'm going to
yes,
get very
yes.
personal with you because I'm looking at the things that are personal to some people. So I'm your CIA agent. I'm looking at credit, income, and I'm also looking at assets because those are the three things we use to determine what you can purchase or how much you can afford.
That is something. Credit, income, and assets.
That's
CIA.
right. CIA.
That's right. Now, what type of loans are available for people when they purchase a home, Annabelle?
So there's different type of mortgages. We have the government type, which the most common one is the FHA, and that allows you to do 3.5% as down payment. We have VA as well, which allow home buyers to do 0% down payment. And then we also have conventional. These are the three common ones for first-time home buyers or for person that are looking to get into a primary home. We have more, right? We have some new products, the bank statements, the profit and loss. Those are geared towards self-employed individuals.
Exactly.
So when you have the 1099, you and I, the independent contractors, the realtors that writes everything off, we have options.
If I could write this off, I'm going to write it off.
We take a look at the bank statement and we see what are the deposits for the past 12 months or 24 months, and we use that as the income. Right? So there are creative ways or things that we can do to get the people who make money and keep this country running a home. Because they're the one that always say, I write everything off. And the traditional credit union or big banks, they only look at the tax returns and they say, I'm sorry, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, we can't help you. Right?
That is the advantage of going to a mortgage broker.
Absolutely.
Because you're able to shop around.
Products.
Yes, the different products that are available. Yes. Now, and I noticed, Annabelle, there's with the VA, the FHA, and there's also another one, FHA 203K. But with the VA, there's no money down. But I always tell people to put something down as a sign of interest.
Earnest money deposit, right?
Yes.
You always want to leave a good faith. How is the seller going to know you're a serious buyer?
Oh,
they want the down payment.
No, sign of interest.
Put something there to show good faith. What we also say in the lending industry, if someone put money down, guess what? They have an interest to continue paying that mortgage.
That's right.
You're coming in knowing I put money down and I am going to pay my mortgage. You put zero down, you put nothing down, you have no interest.
Right.
Because you put nothing up front. It's like something you got free.
Exactly.
Right? So we always want to see some kind of money. We encourage, if you have something, put something as a down payment. And especially if it's a VA, even if you're not doing anything, even if we decide not to go forward and do a 0% down payment, be prepared to put an earnest money deposit. Your attorney is going to ask you to do it.
Exactly. And now also in reference to closing costs, people sometimes they don't have money for closing costs. They don't have money. They have money for the down payment, but they, like if a property is $300,000, for example, okay, and they putting down 3%, 3.5%, that may be like $11,000 just from the top of my head. Then they have to have closing costs, which is usually 6%. So that's like $18,000. Now, some people, that's like almost like $30,000. What do we do in a situation like that to help the buyer?
So we'll look at all the options, right? Someone coming in, hey, I have the down payment but no closing costs. One of the things that is becoming real common in our industry again these days is the seller's concession. We're seeing that coming back, right? Because it gets home buyers in the door. Whereby, and that's my first deal I did with you. You gave me some seller's concession.
Yes. That's how I got my house too.
You
22 years ago.
Concession, and we use that. I didn't get everything as a seller's concession, but I got a little bit in the deal, and then I was able to come up with the rest. So seller's concession is available to help you with closing costs. You don't have to ask for everything if it's not needed, right?
Right.
But you can ask for maybe 1%, 2%, all the way up to 6% if we're doing an FHA loan.
Yes, and the house just has to appraise.
For sure.
Exactly.
And I always say to my buyers, it is dependent on the seller. They have to agree to that seller's concession.
Yes.
They have to. So it's not just taking a seller's concession, coming in and expect it to be every seller to agree to it.
Right.
The seller have to have a say in it because again, the property have to appraise.
So now with a VA, is a seller's concession, can we still consider it?
We can still use a seller's concession as well on a VA.
See,
so that's a big one.
Really is.
That's a big
one. It really
one.
is, yes,
right?
definitely.
And it can be done on 203Ks. It can also be done on conventional. And also, if buyers don't have money, there are grants depending on income, depending on different factors.
Yeah.
That is also out there to help you. Now, a lot of first-time home buyers coming in looking for grants. It's not for everyone. There's a qualification process for grants, right? So when you go to a lender, keep an open mind that you might not be qualified for a grant, so be prepared to look at other options like the seller's concession.
So when should they look for the grant? Should they look for the grant before they go look at the property, or should they just wait till they actually find the property?
When you're getting pre-approved, you need to talk to your lender at that point to see whether or not you would be pre-approved for any grant products.
That is so important. Now, the FHA 203K, what is that about?
So that is my secret weapon. I call it a
Really?
secret weapon. That's my secret weapon.
Yes, yes.
Because that's a renovation loan, right?
Yes.
You go into the home and the kitchen is dated. It has a pink bathroom or a green bathroom, or there's peeling paints or a cracked window. It just needs love. TLC.
Yes.
We have a contract to give the buyer an estimate, and we roll that into the mortgage.
Exactly.
Right? That's a 203K.
So if the property is like $300,000 and it needs $30,000 worth of work, they could get a 203K for how much?
For you're gonna get the 30,000,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
we add it to the cost,
Yeah.
the 300 plus the 30,000 for the renovation,
Yeah.
right? And there's a little contingency that we built in, and then we do the 3.5% off the total amount, so that become your down payment, and the rest we're gonna finance.
You see how she explains that? Just keep it simple.
Right?
Yes.
So we roll everything in, and guess what? The work is not being done up front.
No, it's
Sometimes
not.
home buyers think, I'm going to have to do the work first before you close. No. We get paperwork together, we approve your contract, or we close, and then you go and work on the property.
Exactly. Now, there's a lot of people that have their own business, Annabelle, and they don't have pay stubs. What would you suggest in a situation like that when they applying for a mortgage?
The bank statement.
The
right?
bank statement?
The bank statement. We have, depending on their FICO score or their credit score, they'll be able to do 10% or more as a down payment, and we can look at the bank statement, see their deposits going in, and we use it as the income. There's also another one called the profit and loss, where we're going to ask you to show us what your income is, what your expenses are, and we use that as your income. And it goes along with the CPA letter, of course. But there are creative ways and different ways to get things done in this market.
Wow, that's so great. And in reference to the 203K, FHA 203K, can that be for an investment property too,
No.
or it just could be for a first-time
Only
home buyer?
for first-time home buyers. FHA is not, let me take that back, not first-time home buyers, only for primary residence.
Excuse me, right, primary residence. So
Because, just so you know, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer to get an FHA loan.
no.
Right. So it must be a primary residence. You must have, the intention is to live in that property.
So what if the person wants to buy another property and they have a house already, but now they would like to buy an investment property and fix it up? What type of loan would you offer them?
So we have the conventional renovation. That's the one that would work for them, but it only applies to a single family home.
Oh,
If you want now to do investment renovation, then we still have the fix and flip hard money out there. So we have
hard
more
money.
options, right?
They call it hard money for a
We call it
reason.
hard money. And those are short-term loans, which give you the ability to fix that property within 12 months and then do a refinance or sell the property if it's profitable for you.
Wow, that's a great program, and there's a lot of people that are using that program. Yes. Now, I noticed that a lot of single-family homes have solar panels. Okay, and my house has solar panels. Okay, but I'm not planning on selling no time soon, and I just took advantage of the opportunity. But when a person is buying a house and the house has solar panels, tell me what the procedure is that you can,
So as a loan
Tell
officer, I don't know about other lenders. I don't like to hear the word solar panels. Like, honestly, the moment you say solar panels,
yeah,
I take a big breath like, okay, what are we dealing with?
yes,
Because
yes.
one of the things is that we pre-approve a client for $400,000, right? And we do the math and it works. And then we find out later in contract that there are solar panels.
Yeah.
Which means that you will have a monthly payment, which I never factored in my debt to income ratio. So it's important that home buyers and realtors let their loan officer know
Exactly.
this home has solar panel and this is the current monthly payment. Because we will have to
Exactly.
factor that in.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
We also make sure that depending on whether do they own it or do they lease it.
Yeah.
If
yes.
it's owned, can it be transferred? What are the terms? What are the requirements required by that solar company in order to get this transferred?
Right.
And I'll tell you a story I had. I had a realtor buying a property, and there were three three signers on that application, and none of them could get approved
Why?
by the solar company. They were just being difficult, right? $25,000, the seller had to pay it off.
Wow. And he had taken out his proceeds.
Yes.
Yes. He couldn't raise the price.
No.
Because that's not what they agreed on.
No.
Right. So that's why communication is very, very important when you're speaking with the loan officer. And when you put the offer in, you must tell the loan officer and the attorney about the solar panels.
Yes.
Yes.
And the bank is requiring certain things these days also about solar panels. They want to know the terms. If we foreclose on this property, what is it that the solar company will do? Will they take them off? Can, different things. They want to know,
Wow.
right, what goes on with, because you got to think about it. If the property is foreclosed on, it belongs to the bank. The bank doesn't want those solar panels on.
So what happens then?
They're going to ask the solar company to remove them.
And who's going to pay them?
The solar company has to have it in their lease or the terms that we own them. We have to take them off, especially if they're leased.
Right.
If they're owned,
right.
that's something different that becomes with the property.
Wow.
Right? So it depends on whether they're leased or they're owned. So solar, please tell your loan officer if there are solar panels on the property. We need to include them in our DTI. There's more things that goes on behind the scene which needs to be done. We also have to get them transferred into your name before we close. So
Right.
there's a process.
I'm just thinking about that too. Say if the property was in foreclosure and the solar panels on it, and they actually own the original owner owned the solar panels.
We have to find out what's going on with those.
Yeah, and then if they have to be removed, who's going to be paying for those to be removed? Now that the bank owns the property, the buyer's going to have to remove them out of their own proceeds.
The bank should take care of all that if they're still on the property when they take
I wonder
it
if
over.
it comes up as a violation. Boy, everything like tick, tick, tick goes up in my head.
It shouldn't be a violation on the property. But yes, you want to ask those
Yeah.
questions as to, is the solar cleared, right? Meaning,
Yeah.
is the bank left with the bill? Am I going to be getting something in the mail that, hey, we're here to take off those solar panel and lift a hole in your roof? All these different things you got to think about.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad we had a chance to sit here and just explain everything. I really appreciate this, Annabelle.
And there's
This
so
was-
much more,
I
right?
know.
We could talk
I
about
know.
mortgages
This
for
is
days.
one of our episodes.
Yes, we could talk about mortgages
Yes,
for days.
yes.
And we mentioned so many different products. I think what we can do next time is just to spend a little bit more time on each, cut and dissect, and just to educate the buyers
Excellent.
on,
Yes.
maybe just spend an entire video on 203K because there's so much.
Yes.
Right. Here's a trick for 203K. I've used it to save deals. Because if the appraisal comes in low,
Yeah.
you could add $5,000 on that appraisal, flip it to a 203K, right? Now I can go up to 110% of the value. So if it's only worth 300, it automatically becomes worth 330, even though the appraiser says it's only worth 300.
Duh.
So 110% of the value.
You hear that?
And when the
110%
appraisal
of the
is
value.
done, we get the after repair value. So if you did a new bathroom or a new kitchen and that property is going to be worth 100,000 more, that's what the appraiser is going to tell us that it's worth.
Wow.
Not what you're buying it for.
No,
What it's
no,
worth
No.
after the repairs. So
That will be our another video that we will be having. I am so glad I had a chance to say, to talk with Annabelle, and she's a very good friend. And one thing about her, she picks up her phone, because I could be a pain, and I will call her and ask her questions, and she picks up the phone. And we've been working with each other for years now. And my name is Minnie Thomas, and I'm with Keller Williams Realty, Hudson Valley United, the Middletown office. I'm also a loan signing agent and a notary. Mobile notary. And Annabelle, you are, as you said before,
a mortgage broker with Gorasco.
that's right. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm just so glad I had a chance to share all this information. Take care.
See you on the next one.
Yes.